Today on One Day Leader, our candidates prepare to look at how we can get our communities more involved in taking care of their environment. A very good afternoon to you, South Africa, and welcome to One Day Leader. My name is Tshwanelo, and today is officially spring day. I mean, it's getting warmer and greener outside, and you know what this means. It's the beginning of all new things. But yet, we still battle with negative attitudes to the environment. And our Constitution states that everyone has the right to an environment that is not harmful to their health nor their well-being, one that protects and benefits present and future, as well as develops and uses natural resources while promoting justifiable economic and social development. But even with these idealistic notions, we're still challenged with pollution, particularly in the townships. So the topic for this week is environmental responsibility, where we get ordinary South Africans to take care of their own environment. Now, please give us your comments on our topic. Our Facebook page is One Day Leader SA, and our Twitter account is @OneDayLeaderSA, and do hashtag One Day Leader. Now, we're heading towards the end of One Day Leader Season 3, and we still have our 5 contestants who are eager to share their vision statements. We start with leader number 1, Tshwanelo, Fokazi.
Thank you, Dumi. Bo Osbaka, Nabo Mawami. Let's start a revolution. Let's start conversations so that we can be heard. Because there cannot be a true democracy unless women's voices are heard. There cannot be a true democracy unless women are given the opportunity to take responsibility for their own lives. I say, we all say, if things are going to change, it starts with me.
Thank you so much, Tshwanelo. That was leader number 1. We now go straight to leader number 3. Her name is Matasha, Mazomba.
Good evening, South Africa, and a happy spring day to you all. My vision is of a South Africa that recognizes and embraces the changing and dynamic role of women within society. My vision is of a South Africa where our mothers, our sisters, and our wives are at the forefront of driving both economic and social change. My vision is of a woman-led South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Now we head over to leader number 4, and his name is Mr. Jabulani, Sibiya.
As a servant leader, I believe in direct contribution from active citizens, but not only them, from change-instilled citizens. Let us move from solution holders from a problem-seeking society. Remember, change is not a race, it's a marathon. Here's to consistency, and through leadership, I salute you.
Thank you so much, Jabulani. Well, lead number 5 is so eager to share her vision statement, and she goes by the name of Samantha Beynon.
Molweni Mzansi, my vision for South Africa most certainly entails the empowerment of young people, women, people with disabilities, and any other currently marginalized group in realizing and maximizing their potential in the assistance of economic transformation in South Africa for the majority of people, but in particular the working class and poor. Nelson Mandela once said, education is a great engine for personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that a son of a mine worker can become head of the mine, and that a child of farm workers can become the president of this nation. Therefore, we need to grant opportunities to the majority of our people.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Due to time, we need to cut you there, but thank you so much for that vision statement. And leader number 6 name is Octavia, Shabangu.
Thank you. Our forefathers dreamed of a unified South Africa that is strong, independent, and modern. Today, we have fast rail and wear Western clothing, but we cannot forget where we come from, and we cannot forget who we are. Mina ngu-Octavia Muyani, umntana kaShabangu, nomkhatsha, noChemani. Keep it real and educate yourself about your heritage.
Thank you so much, Octavia. Well, there you've heard it. Those are vision statements from our leaders. But right now, though, we start our business and we take a look at our scoreboards for this week. Well, as you can see, our viewers' votes there. We have at the number 3 spot, Samantha Beynon with 1 point. At the number 2 spot, we have Jabulani Sibiya with 2 points. And leading that pack is Matasha Mazomba with 3 points. We take a look at our other update now. This is the series scoreboard. And we have Jabulani Sibiya leading the pack with 22 points. Samantha Beynon is right behind him with 16 points. Matasha Mazomba in 3rd place with 15 points. Octavia Shabangu at 12 points. And Tshwanelo Fokazi trailing behind with 9 points. Well, Mzansi, please keep voting for your favorite leader on our SMS line. The line is 34020, and this is how you can vote. To vote for your favorite leader, SMS Leader 1, Tshwanelo, Fokazi. Leader 3, Matasha, Mazomba. Leader 4, Jabulani, Sibiya. Leader 5, Samantha, Beynon. And Leader 6, Octavia, Shabangu. Well, unfortunately, our judges decided to use their save on episode 6, which means that by the end of this episode, they and yourself at home must eliminate someone. Viewers, please meet our resident judges. A writer, a public speaker and social activist, Shaka Sisulu is a founding member of Cheese Kids, a board member of Love Life, and serves on the interim leadership task team of the ANC Youth League. Catherine Constantinides is the Youth Network Generation Earth co-founder, executive director of Miss Earth SA and lead SA executive. Those were your resident judges, and today's topic, I know this for a fact, is very close to Catherine's heart. And of course, Shaka deals with these pertinent issues through his, of course, foundation known as Cheese Kids. Welcome to One Day Leader judges. So good to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, our guest judge for this week is no stranger to One Day Leader. Nkgopotse JJ Tabane is currently the CEO of Orisego Holdings, a communications company. And before this, he was the chairman of the Indalo Yethu environmental campaign, and he is one of South Africa's leading media and communication specialists, as well as a community activist and a business executive. Welcome, Mr. JJ. Round of applause for our guest judge.
Thank you very much.
Kindly just share with us, what are the benefits of one taking care of their environment?
Look, it's no longer, environment is no longer about just sort of, as they call it, tree hugging and just sort of be sentimental about the environment. It's really about the economy. If you look, in a discerning manner in the environment, you will find economic opportunities. This is what we call the green economy. And I'm challenging here young people to really go and do research about what are the opportunities in the green economy. We're talking about, for example, alternative forms of energy, such as solar energy. So there's lots of business opportunities there. And so if you take care of our environment, it will take care of you.
Thank you so much, JJ. Well, he said not to tease him, but did you see the green tie, the green shirt, rocking that green economy spray? Thank you so much for joining us. But he's not the only guest judge we have this afternoon. Today we're also invited Rotenda Mangoma from Parapara FM, who came all the way from my province, the Limpopo province, to grace us with her presence. Rotenda, welcome to One Day Leader. What are you expecting today?
I'm expecting the leaders to prove why they have to be here, why they deserve to be here, and if they're going to change mindsets generally about taking care of the environment in a better and informed ways.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us, Rotenda. And now, getting back to our business, well, this week, our contestants went on a drive to create cleanliness for the community of Alexandra and leave behind a legacy. Let's see if they achieve this.
Brothers. So we got some task now, yeah? Yay. Okay, cool. We're done. Good morning, leaders. Just like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we have the inalienable rights to an environment that is healthy and not harmful to our well-being. This is sadly not the case in many of our townships. You will go to Alexandra Township and conduct an inquiry into what causes the decay of the community resources and environmental pollution. Upon arriving at the cause of the above, you are to turn a polluted and dilapidated park around by involving the community in a manner that will ensure that they will proceed with what you've started. You will vote for a task leader.
I think if anyone doesn't want to be or doesn't want to put themselves forward or volunteer, I'd like to be task leader for this week. If it's alright with anyone. And if
Let's vote. Chaps for task leader.
I think you unanimously won by yourself. Okay, cool. So let's just hit the road. Boom, boom, boom. Isimo manje endlini. Sithanda ukuthi sibe tense nyana after the episode basebenzisa save. So that's why bengingazizwa kahle ukuthi ngizimeme ukuthi ngibu task lead. Kwamanje ngisafuna vele ukuthola like inspiration and wait for the most opportune time ukuthi ngikhethe a leader a situation where I can best display leadership. Yeah.
When the candidates drove into Alex, they were confronted by the real issues.
Kumdaka yonke indawo kuyanuka and ngathi abantu bakhona sebeyiqhelile akho umuntu ubonakalisa ngathi like akho umuntu notsiba amanzi amdaka umuntu uvela hambe phezukwawo. Yeah, that's Alex.
And then they got to planning.
Alrighty guys, so we are here now at Shumang Sebenza. We're going to now get Tshwa and Sam. You're going to go in, guys. Remember guys, core information, we also need to know more about the programs that they do because we can find a direction in that sense. As much information, there'll be a shortage of information. We good?
Yes.
You guys can go. Okay. We can go back to the car.
They want me to go next. And yeah, the tension ninja, they've made it very apparent, and that's okay, you know.
Octavia feels for Jabu. Obviously, Jabu wants to be the last man standing. So if he can get opt out, then for top two, they need a guy, and that'll be him.
Yes, I want to be the last man standing. I want to win the show. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm not at home. I do want to win this competition.
Can I have a seat?
Thank you. Sila ukukhuluma about environmental health more, Alexandra.
Okay.
How active is the community in terms of like to clean up? Do they?
We do have more education and awareness under environmental issues in the city of Johannesburg. We do educate community. They understand, but some they don't understand because they are not permanent here in Alexandra. They just come here.
They refuse to understand.
Yeah, they refuse to understand. And how can we clean River Jack's on a daily basis? Money of no money. Daily basis with 250 women.
My daughter, was a community, Alexandra. How are they involved?
Men are not interested because when we don't have money, they will fight us. Maybe they build a hub next to the river so that people can come and see. Because Alexandra
Okay. We were able to acquire the information that we needed to better inform our decisions around the activity and task we want to have tomorrow.
The group from Shumang Sebenzani Development Initiative Group were excited and hopeful about the help that was coming.
Salmonani, we are here to help, we are here to guide, and we're here to inspire through action.
I wish that more people of a particular class in this country could come and experience this.
Welcome back to One Day Leader. Our contestants were tasked to create a drive to clean up a park in Alexandra Township, and they decided to help the community to clean up the Jacques River. Did they succeed? Let's have a look. On day 2, the leaders got ready to meet with a group from Shumang.
Ujabu akekho uyobhala exam yakhe esikolweni udelegate Octavia ubana makabe yi-leader okwangoku angekhoyo.
I was shocked when he asked me online. I didn't expect it. For me, I changed my route. Yebo ngiya-understand ukuthi vele fanele ngimbambezele mara angeke vele ongikhiphe emqondweni walento engiyazi. Sanibonani bantu. Njani? From Tina as a one day leader ne. Sicela ukuzodonate 5 wale wehlahla ne. 1 tree each representing a leader ikhona. Thank you mama. Singahamba.
The candidates are getting ready, using the community's resources once again.
It smells. Everything here is unbearable. And Sam just found a dead rat. A huge dead rat. Oh gosh, it smells so bad.
Renja hotlina galbagalar nagar jokes ke ribede clean. Remitali challenge tsa tholelo re bala hletse maseya ka mo le dipudi le dimpia le dihoho ke ntho tse ntsi etc etc.
And now, the minimal resources cause a huge fight.
First to masaka ke apekitsa please. Abia fa sempe. Ve to ra go botsa re bia masaka fa se ra go hlompha re hlompha re bia masaka.
Go ka tsoga go bona getse o re ra cleaner. Cause ha re thomere cleaner ba latlha. Ha re thomere cleaner ba latlha. Go sho re batla boshigo ba latlha ditshila ka every day ha re chaisa move ane go le clean mara ha re tsoga re thola gona le ditshila. Next time, ba re go bo Shoprite, go bo Checkers, bo Pick n Pay, ba re kopele for donation or bo me ba monoke ba kry lunch every day.
We've left 5 plants as part of the legacy. There is a program that's running where 200 trees are going to be planted. I think it was important for us to come here. Number one, psychologically uplift, because the most powerful thing is a shift in mentality in terms of your circumstances and your surroundings.
We did what they do every day. I think we even dropped the ladies' morale here. When I look behind me, the river's still dirty. It'll take more than a day to clean it up. I guess we didn't have a big impact. They probably don't know why we came.
But one day leader, we really from Maabani today. Mara, I think it won't only impact that much.
We're here at Linal Park, trying to help them sort out the rubbish in terms of recycling. And we contributed some lemons for the Arbor Day that they'll be planting in their garden area. So we're satisfied with the performance.
Protective clothing jarina. Is the jarba ogeje number, ba fugurije number. Because rinchije the protective clothing about by 5. Rakadima bona bat ba one day leader. Mola na begina hana bona ba dotha ba le well equipped. Ba felletse ka everything e nyakyang. O re kgona clean the river.
Our research revealed the type of help they need. They needed hands. They needed help cleaning this river, and that's what we did.
We don't want to admit defeat. And as valiant as it is with Asfunu Ovuma, which is Liwe, a big part of leadership, is standing up and taking accountability for this didn't work out.
It breaks my heart, I must say. We didn't make a difference at all. There's nothing we did for them.
Welcome back to One Day Leader. And as you saw in the insert, our contestants took on an assignment to clean up the Jacques River in Alexandra. Were they able to leave a legacy for the community? Or we'll let our judges ask all the questions. Shaga?
Thanks, Tshwanelo. Let's start with the leader, Jabu. I saw you valiantly volunteering yourself. That was excellent. But then you had an exam the next day, which you obviously knew about, and you disappeared. Why did you put your hand up in the first place if you weren't going to be there to lead your team?
Thank you for the question, Shaka. Outside of One Day Leader, my community development project works with the environment. So anything that's in that sphere, I am motivated to get involved in and to offer my services.
Why did you put yourself forward if you weren't going to be available to lead your team?
I guess I was too passionate about the task that was at hand. And I thought because my exam was only 1.5 hours that I could just miss out that 1.5 hours to come back. It might have not been a good idea to put myself up, but I think because I was passionate and I am passionate about the environment and outside of One Day
Leader. Would you do it
again?
Would you play it like that again? Would you put yourself up and not lead your team?
No, I would offer myself to a task again, but I think if I see that I do have an exam that I wouldn't go. But I had full faith in my team to have led because we're all working together as a team. So I had faith in my team to carry it out, and I think next time I'll consider the fact that I do have an exam within a task, and it's an area that I'll learn from, and I do apologize.
Thank you so much, Jabu. We have to move on now. Catherine?
Octavia, my question is for you. You gave 5 trees to a community that is punished by the dirty water that they have to live around every single day. Dirty water that none of you would want to live near. Why did you not even bother to plant the trees? What was that all about?
Thank you for the question. So the 5 trees are going to actually be planted on Arbor Day and not specifically for that day. What they also showed in the insert was there was orange peels that they were eating from the oranges, which would be used in the compost when those trees were planted. They weren't specifically for that task. They were for a future task that we will all be invited to again on Arbor Day to plant trees. So those were for that and exclusive of the task itself. It was a legacy that we were trying to leave behind.
Thank you so much. Octavia. JJ?
Samantha, a leader must speak frankly. Eh? Don't speak in parables about class and what. You need to call the spade, not to try and be popular. Anyway, you went into this committee to support them, but it looks like you left them a lot demoralized. And the activities you did there didn't make an impact. Why do you think that's the case? And how does it make you feel that you left people almost as you found them?
Yeah, thank you for the question. First of all, I don't believe I spoke in parables. I think the majority of people who are affected by this and other socio-economic conditions of this country at the moment know exactly who I'm speaking about, as the working class and poor in particular. So we know which class we are referring to when we say class, sir. In terms of...
Just that people may have to guess.
Yes, not a problem. In terms of the legacy, I must say that as a collective, you are quite correct. We must take responsibility, we must be accountable, and we must, as Octavia says, almost defeat or admit defeat rather. But at the same, in the same sense, it goes beyond the 2 days of shooting that we do for the task. Sure. It goes beyond that because we actually have a leader who is the task leader who's gone back to revisit.
But you discuss the issue of impact as you are planning. And if you discuss the issue of impact, what impact did you think you'll leave with the activity you conducted there?
Yeah, again, the task was to clean a river. As you saw, the river was not cleaned. So there isn't a real direct impact. But what we are wanting to do is go beyond the 2 days of shooting and leave an impact, leave a legacy, because, I mean, leadership is not an event. It's a
Samantha,
process.
was that the task?
Yeah.
Was that the task, Jabulani?
No, the task was to embed a park, but Francina, who is the director of Shabangu, stated that the river is to her most concern. To better a park within her community, but then she stated that the river is to her most concern.
All right. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Jabulani. Judges, are you satisfied? Is there anything else?
Yeah. You know, here's the thing. I mean, we've seen this, we've been going around this issue of the tasks not being done in the way that has been required. And a lot of tasks you leave sort of, you know, not really having an impact. It speaks to the issue of leadership. Planning is not there. You're not applying yourselves to what really should be done. And you all seem to follow each other like a flock, even though you're doing the wrong thing with the tasks. I think we need to do something critical to shake you guys up. I think some of you are getting complacent.
I don't like the passing of the buck thing. You see, once you're in a team and you say, oh, it's the leader, that's not how leaders should operate. Even if on that particular task you are not the leader, you can't pass the buck when there's failure and say, oh, it's because we had a bad leader. That's terrible.
Dumela, I think what we're going to do is dock all of their points.
What does that mean?
We're taking every single point away. We're wiping the slate clean. You all have 0 points from right now. You have consistently not been performing in the tasks. You've not led. And at this point in time of the game, you really need something to shake you up. You are now all on 0.
All right, let me just get this clear. Judges, are you saying that the series scoreboard is wiped clean? With Jabulani leading at 22, from Samantha at 16, we have Matasha, I think, on 15. Everybody goes to 0?
Everybody goes to 0.
Wow. Well, there you have it. There's a scoreboard, as you can see on your screen right now. All the 5 contestants' scores are wiped all to 0 due to their non-consistency, as the judges have claimed. But now we have to go back to our business for the day. And now we come to the debate for this week. Perhaps this can help us to reclaim the points for the contestants. But we're asking the question, how do we get township residents to take ownership of their own environment? Before we start, here are the rules of debate. Every leader has a set of instructions and disciplines to live by. These are the rules for the one-day leader debates. You have 30 seconds to state your vision statement, 60 seconds for the opponent to challenge, and 30 seconds to conclude your debate. This is a debate of no other. All the leaders starting at 0 point, and our first debate is between Jabu and Octavia. Jabu, you begin your debate in 30 seconds.
A municipal service partnership is an agreement between the municipality as well as a service provider. A service provider may be a non-government organization as well as a community-based program. My solution going out to Alex as well in conducting is we say that we get community service to be instilled into the secondary education, which will be strengthening the tertiary education application to go to tertiary education, as well as strengthening your CV. We're saying here that we're having a partnership between the municipality as well as secondary education students to tackle the issue that arise in
Thank you so much, Leader 4. Leader 6, this is your time now to challenge in 60 seconds. Begin now.
All right, Jabulani, that was a great point, but the problem is that the human capital behind what you want to do is not feasible in terms of introducing it to the secondary. We have 75,000 teachers just in LO itself, and they are the LO teacher, the maths teacher, the science teacher, and for them to give immediate individual attention is not possible. So that means that
about your financial statement. In the service contract based on the municipal service delivery on their website, it says it's an agreement between municipality as well as a community-based program, and the municipality is saying that it provides budget as well as
there's only 1,475 programs, and there's 50 million people in South Africa. You cannot allow that to happen.
Community-based program.
No.
So it's saying that in partnership, they will monitor the program within the secondary
education. You can only have 1,475
as well as provide feasible money in order to carry on the program.
No, the organizations won't reach the masses. There's 50 million people, there's 720 townships. So if you have 1,475,000 community organizations to partner with, it won't work. It won't work. There's only 75,000
Thank you so much,
teachers.
leaders. Jabulani, wrap up your vision statement in 30 seconds. Begin now.
Okay, so when I talk about the partnership, the municipality says that a service, a partnership in providing community statements to the community, as well as providing money that goes with financial state. Because it says that the municipality cannot adhere to all the problems within a community. Hence says Alex. And what I'm saying is, if we get the community members within secondary education, strengthening their CV because they're involved in community development, having them monitor with the municipality as well as financial inputs, we're partnering two people, two entities to cover a wide problem in our community.
Thank you so much, Jabu. Octavia, you clearly disagree there. State your vision statement in 30 seconds. Begin now.
It cost the city of Johannesburg alone 170 million to clean up litter in the region last year, with townships taking up a bulk of the budget. Government needs to enforce already existing laws to penalize persons for illegal dumping. Many a times I've seen a sign that says illegal dumping 10,000 rand fine, but I've never heard of somebody fined or somebody that was actually found. The second thing that we need to do is we need to use the money from the fines to subsidize recycling. We need to recycle more to make it not a recreational activity, but a means of living. Don't recycle to buy bread, recycle to pay college.
Thank you so much. Octavia, Jabu, you want to jump in and challenge? Your 60 seconds begin now.
Right, the first thing I want to say with getting money off recycling, people like Shabangu, you must understand that with recycling materials, they sell these materials in order to gain cost for themselves
question,
as
not
cleaners.
yourself.
I'm addressing it. My question to you, Octavia, is the municipality states that all these problems such as water supply, refuse removal, electricity and gas, and litter are problems. You need to stay...
Okay, I get it. So municipalities, we're talking about the environment. When environmental affairs can make people money or cost them money, then they'll sit up and take it seriously. On average in Joburg, there's 2,400 dumpings per week that are worth 10,000 rand a fine. On average, that's 2.8 billion in pending fines, and a fraction of that is only needed to subsidize cash received for organizations and citizens recycling. So currently, the money made by organizations and recycling is only 2.4 million per annum. So what we need to do is to use the dumping money to pay for recycling. The beauty of this plan is it can be implemented tomorrow without any resource from state, with the environment being cleaner and being the
Thank you so much, leaders. Octavia, might as well wrap up your vision statement. Begin now in 30 seconds.
If we want environmental affairs to be taken seriously in our country and by residents, you need to attach one thing that's most important to them: their livelihood. Clean up our city, pay your college. Mess up our city, pay for it to be cleaned. Either way you look at it, you're going to take it seriously. Thank you.
A round of applause for debate 1. Alrighty, judges, may we please have the winner of this debate?
This debate for us goes to Jabulani. I think that you have come with a concrete solution that hits back at education and developing leaders in that sector through the school system.
A round of applause for leader 4, Jabulani. Thank you so much, leaders, for that debate. But after the break, we continue with 2 more debates. You'd want to stay tuned. Welcome back to One Day Leader. Our topic for this week is how do we get township residents to take ownership of their own environment? Now, our next debate is between Tshwanelo and Samantha. And remember, both leaders are now back to zero. Tshwanelo, you begin this debate and your 30 seconds begin now.
Thank you. Township people will take ownership if they can benefit from their ownership. That is reality. Recycling needs to become more than a recreational activity, but it needs to become more of a way of creating a living. Recycling mustn't just be a way to put bread on the table. It should be able to, or rather, take learners to university. I say this because there is a lot of rubbish to be picked up and not enough people to do it. But if we show poor people that if you actually take care of your community, you'll be able to get a life out of it, put bread on the table.
Thank you so much, Leader 1. Leader 5, your 60 seconds to challenge begin now.
Thank you so much, Tshwanelo. Tshwanelo, I wanted to speak to the issue of community values and the fact that socio-economic conditions of the vast majority of people, particularly residents from townships, or residents rather from townships, aren't perhaps prioritizing cleaning up the environment because their number one issue is putting food on the table. Poverty is almost dictating this kind of mentality. So how are you going to have a shift in mentality other than to say that we should recycle? I think it's a great initiative.
I believe that we can have a shift in mentality if we encourage recycling and say that not only do you, maybe, you know, they actually use it as a way to make money, but not only do you actually get petty money, like putting bread on your table, you can use recycling to make it a lucrative industry. I think we should get other organizations and so forth to take part in this because we can't just have these people recycling.
So are there examples that you can speak to? Are there people who are willing to invest that kind of capital, not only in terms of money, but people as well?
Thank you so much, Leader. Tshwanelo, you might as well answer that in your conclusion. Okay. In 30 seconds, begin now.
I'd say let us show people that the environment can actually meet their basic needs. I say this because if we actually clean up the Yaske River, and if we actually clean up our Yaske River, we can get fresh air, we can be able to plant crops and so forth. So that's what I would encourage.
Your conclusion's done?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tshwanelo. Alrighty then. Samantha, you begin, of course, your vision statement in 30 seconds. Begin now.
Thank you so much. I believe in a multi-stakeholder approach in terms of this issue. That means we need to depend on service providers, corporate sector investment, not just government subsidy, as well as the people themselves of communities. And how do we do this? We need to be practical. One, we need to bring legal dump sites closer to the doorsteps of residences, because often when these kinds of dump sites, pardon me, are far from the doorsteps of residences, they are prompted to just dump their waste and therefore becomes illegal dumping. We also
Thank
need
you, Samantha.
subsidy.
Your time is up. Tshwanelo, chip in and challenge in 60 seconds. Begin now.
Samantha, looking at Alexandra, what do you mean that these dump sites actually far from the people, they far from their doorsteps?
Okay,
how is that possible? Because we saw it ourselves.
I don't even know how that is a question, with much respect, because you could see we had to go all the way down to a river to clean it up because there wasn't a provider coming as you have in the suburbs. If I can please finish. What I'm also saying is that we need to provide hubs for people to promote that recycling that you're speaking of. But the only difference is my approach in terms of practicality is different. What I'm saying is we need corporate sector investors to subsidize people so that they trigger support, practical support from community members. It forces them to then stop the illegal dumping, and it also practically educates them how to separate waste.
How do we get those corporate industries to get involved as well?
And then sell it for an income. I don't know if you captured that because you were interrupting me while I'm talking. So what I'm saying is that we also need environmental forums to educate people. They can conduct workshops to create environmental awareness. That is another practical step amongst communities.
Thank you, Leader Samantha. You might as well wrap up your vision statement in 30 seconds.
Thank you so much. What I'm saying is bring those legal dump sites closer to residents so that there is a stoppage in terms of illegal dumping of wastage. It's a practical step. Residences of townships don't have that in comparison to people of the suburbs. We also need education. How you do that is by having environmental forums for this kind of awareness, and then we also need the subsidy of people in terms of separating waste, collecting waste, and also providing an income for themselves. And through that, that's a practical step in educating yourself.
Thank you so much, leaders. Round of applause for that debate. Thank you so much, ladies, judges.
I think you guys made it really tough for us, and this is what we're expecting. In the end, the multi-stakeholder approach does have an edge. So Samantha's approach has an edge over yours, Tshwanelo. Also, the other thing that has an edge is your certainty about what the solution is. I still feel you're quite uncertain as to what we should be providing there. So this one goes to Samantha. Congratulations.
Round of applause to Leader 5. Congratulations, Leader 5. Samantha takes debate 2. Now, finally, we have Natasha, who chooses her opponent for this debate. Are you ready, ma'am? Who do you choose? Alrighty, you're taking on Sam. And now you begin, of course, with your vision statement. Begin now in 30 seconds.
Okay, so first of all, I believe that the children are the future. As a wise man once said, I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. What I've heard from my fellow debaters is a lot of solutions as to who we should involve in getting rid of the problem, but I didn't hear anyone involving the actual causes of the problem. Now, litter doesn't get there because it just appears. We as the people are the people who litter. We as the community of Alexandra are the people who litter and make Yaske River dirty. And elsewhere as well, the litter that's there is as a result of the people being there. So I believe the solution is through the people.
Samantha? Natasha feels like you do not give any cause of the problem. You may challenge in 60 seconds. Start now.
I take that with respect. I did speak to, however, a multi-stakeholder approach, which means you practically involve members of the community and thereby practically involve children, because children, we are hoping, are learning these kinds of values from community members, from their parents, if not parents, guardians, someone in the community, leaders, ward councillors. So what I want to know from you is you speak to education, which is a fantastic point. It changes mentalities, but you didn't speak to practically how are we going to educate people, because it's one thing to encourage them not to litter, but how do we educate them? What's in the message of that education? How do we do it?
I think living in an environment where the smell is intolerable should be education enough. I think walking out the front door and realizing that there's nowhere for you to walk because your street is filled with litter and dirty papers, that should be education enough. We shouldn't need to get stakeholders and private business people to come and tell you that your area is dirty and you need to take responsibility for this. Yes, you have a right to a clean environment, but you also have the responsibility to ensure that this is the clean environment. I'm saying that government responsibility and involving the private sector and everybody else, we create a dependency syndrome. In South Africa, we have a situation whereby people cause problems and expect other people to come in and clean up their problems for them. I'm saying that we as the community, in all different communities, we should be the ones taking responsibility. We should be the ones who don't simply walk past a paper on the floor. We should be the ones who pick it up. As we begin to clean up our places, government will come in and yes, assist. But if we aren't doing anything about it, why should somebody else want to do anything about something?
Thank you so much, Leader 3.
Thank
you. Samantha, this is now your opportunity to state your vision statement one more time. Your 30 seconds begin now.
Thank you, Susan. What I'm speaking to again is a multi-stakeholder approach. You cannot simply say that because my environment is dirty, that now I'm going to clean up after it. That's not how it works. If that was the case, we wouldn't have had the need to go to Alex in the first place to go and clean. The issue here is that people are living in poverty-stricken circumstances, and their number one need is to be able to provide food on the table, and that needs to be linked with environmental responsibility. Hence, I'm saying get corporate sector investors to subsidize
Thank you so much,
people.
Samantha. Natasha, you may challenge in 60 seconds. Begin now.
You know, Sam, you speak of people living in poverty-stricken circumstances, but my issue is that I don't feel like you need to have money in order to live in a clean environment around yourself. I don't feel like you need to have money to be able to bend down and pick up a piece of paper. I don't feel like you need to have money in order to know that it is wrong to walk to a river and go dump your litter there. I'm saying that people are living in dirty areas because they're poverty-stricken is not viable. You don't need money to be able to live in a clean area.
Thank you so much,
need
Natasha.
to take responsibility.
I really don't want to interrupt you, but I need to. Unfortunately, the reality is that your priority, and I don't expect you to understand this, because if someone is trying to provide for 7 children in their household, their priority is not to clean the environment, it is to provide food on the table. But what we're saying is the solution is that you can still clean the environment by making it economically viable for those very people. That's how you change a culture of dirtiness in the township, is to say, be practically involved, we'll subsidize you, you're collecting waste, you've been educated on how to separate it, and we're providing an income. It's empowerment of people.
Thank you, Leader Samantha. You might as well wrap up your vision statement in 30 seconds.
I speak with such conviction when I speak to this. people who are living in these conditions, it is not their fault to simply give an attitude of, no, they just don't want to clean up after themselves. It is not their priority, because their priority is their socio-economic circumstances don't allow for them to prioritize of that. We're not excusing their behavior, but what we're saying is that let us find a solution that has a collective approach of all kind of stakeholders. That means we require not only government in terms of, for example, the Department of Trade and Industry and having
Thank you so much, leaders. A round of applause to that debate. All right, judges, very briefly, get to the point. Who takes this debate?
Well, we wanted to find out why you chose Sam quickly. Why did you choose Sam?
I just thought her debate was interesting. Her points were interesting, and I'd like to challenge them.
Well, she has won the debate because she managed to make the connection between the environment and the economy. You were not able to give us practical suggestions of how you're going to actually get people to be educated about why it's important. You can't say that the stench is enough, because actually it's not, clearly, because the river is still dirty, there's still all this neglect of the environment. So clearly it's not enough that
all right,
they
who
live
takes
there.
the debate? Unfortunately,
Sam,
Samantha,
yeah.
one more time. Leader 5 takes the debate. And with that, we go to an ad break. We'll be back after this. For the next 13 weeks, our 6 candidates battle to become one-day leader for Season 3. One of them will shadow the NYDA chairperson on his local and continental trips, get 300,000 rands in cash and 150,000 rands for charity of their choice. And a 5-day trip to New York City to attend the annual JCI Global Partnership Summit, sponsored by the JCI South Africa. Welcome back to One Day Leader. Well, you've seen what the leaders can win, but I want to urge you, all the leaders started at a clean slate. So now they're back to zero. You have to vote for your favorite leader. SMS leader, their number to 34020. Now we're handing over to our guest DJ, Rotenda Mangoma. Rotenda, would you like to ask a question to our leader briefly, please?
Yes, to get the right answers, you have to talk to the right people. And for you to gain full understanding of your community, you have to talk to ordinary people. During your task, I'd like to ask this question directly to Matasha. Did you bother to have meetings with the community members so you can understand why they just dump?
No, during our task, we didn't speak to any of the community
It might
members.
help you next time, all of you, my leaders. Please do that to ensure that you gain full understanding of their need. Besides that, you keep referring to the community members as they, poor people.
Yeah.
As leaders, I think that's ill thought. You might need
Thank
to
you so
about
much.
it.
Thank you so much, Rotenda. And now it's time for us to take a look at our scoreboard for this week. Well, as you can see, there's Samantha's leading the pack with 4 points, and Jabulani is behind her with 2 points. If you remember, Samantha won 2 debates that makes her to lead, and now Matasha, Tshwanelo and Octavia are back to 0 points, and they stay there because the judges took, of course, that decision to ensure that they start at the bottom 0 and work their way up. Judges, as you can see, it's a 3-way split now between Octavia, Matasha and Tshwanelo. Who goes home tonight?
Well, first of all, I want to commend you guys. You had some great debates today. I think, Sam, you won because you seemed to care more. You actually cared more. But speaking about who's going home, we're talking about someone who has cared less consistently. Natasha, Octavia, Tshwanelo, I think you know the answer is you. We're very sorry. We would have loved to have you continue, but I don't think you have the fighting spirit to continue in One Day Leader.
So
Tshwanelo
who goes home?
Tshwanelo goes home.
Leader 1 Tshwanelo is going home this
Are you
evening.
watching? Tshwanelo goes home. Yeah.
Leader 1 Tshwanelo, you're going home this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to our viewers, of course, for sharing this journey with you. And thank you at home for joining us, to our audience members, our judges, our contestants. And from myself, Tshwanelo, it's goodbye.